Hey there, everybody. My name is Telik, and one thing that I am super passionate about is movies. And I'm starting to get into YouTube a little bit more, and one of the things I have had as a passion project for a very long time is that I've wanted to do movie reviews, my own unfiltered thoughts on movies that I have watched. And so I am going to start with my very first episode of Spoilers Ahead. And in case you don't understand, this means that there will be spoilers ahead. I will be discussing details of movies. Sometimes I might go into it, sometimes I might not. It's just going to be a general, overwhelming blob of my thoughts, kind of uncondensed and unfiltered. So today, I just finished watching La La Land with my little brother. The movie came out a few years ago, and it received a lot of acclaim, a lot of praise. Ryan Gosling, Emma Stone, John Legend, J.K. Simmons as a random cameo role almost. Because let's face it, J.K. Simmons has gotten to that point of notoriety where he is just J.K. Simmons on screen, and that's a really beautiful place for an actor to land. But it was nominated for an Oscar, and then I believe they were the subject of the famous Oscar mix-up when it was a movie about moonlight that was actually the Oscar winner, but La La Land got called instead. I'm not sure. I'm not going to be doing a ton of research on these. Either I know the backstory or I don't. Just wait until I get into the Marvel universe, so I can go forever. Anyways, I thought it was a really good film. I enjoyed it immensely. The music was very, very good. And I can't really get enough of musicals. I grew up listening to lots of jazz and Broadway music and watching Broadway musicals, so I definitely have a pretty strong grasp on the genre, on both of the genres represented in La La Land, which was quite lovely. So here's the thing. First of all, Ryan Gosling, what even is he? He's Canadian, and he reminds me of mashed potatoes. You enjoy them in the moment, but then you think about them cold the next day, and you're like, I don't know. But then he's this huge enigma, because even though his face doesn't really change ever, and I really feel that he only has the one look as an actor, I can't stop looking at him. He knows how to deliver really real and very compelling dialogue that makes you feel like he's really living in the moment. And there's something about his sort of very quiet confidence that every time I see him in a movie, I always have the same thought: mashed potatoes, but I can't stop eating them. And Emma Stone, I could go on forever about Emma Stone. She is just an absolute gem. She's such a talented actress, such a unique look, and just every time I see her, she's got this amazing presence and personality that just makes me want to watch it again. The movie's about a couple of struggling artists in their own respective fields. Emma Stone plays an actress who is making do serving coffee, and Ryan Gosling is a young man who wants to pursue his dream of keeping jazz pure. And you all probably have no idea about this, but I studied jazz professionally. I was one of those jazz purists that was going to graduate from music school, and I was going to go out and I was going to become a cruise ship musician, and I was going to spend my entire day playing jazz and my entire life playing jazz. And I gave up on it because the movie talks about how hard it is to make it as a successful musician or as a successful actress. Anytime you put yourself into an artistic field, you're going to have a ton of really tough competition with this crazy filtering process where only the blessed few can really make it. I come from a relatively small town, and I can count on both hands the number of musicians that I know that are living full-time as musicians, and they're really I'm jealous. They have amazing lives that are very enriched with their music, but they've had to fight for it, they've had to struggle for it, and the movie really talks about that. Anyways, back to the movie. I loved the sets. Oh my gosh, there's this one scene close to the end. There's this whole flashback sequence, which I won't go into too much detail into, but it just went into these beautiful fairy tale fantasy sets that were some of them were really elaborate, some of them were very minimal and conceptual, and they were just perfect. All the outfits were adorable. I would wear everything that Emma Stone wore in that movie, absolutely everything. And I wish more guys dressed like Ryan Gosling did in that film. Suits look good on a gentleman, let me tell you. Side note, my little brother actually does dress a lot like Ryan Gosling's character in the movie. He's constantly wearing, nice dress slacks instead of jeans, and he's a very kind of quiet, reserved kind of guy. So that's why I think he wanted me to watch the movie, because he really identifies with the character of Seb, which is lovely. The outfits were amazing. I loved the use of primary colors. When I was looking at the IMDb, and I was looking at the photos and stuff, I was like, oh, that's a lot of primary colors, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. But then we got into it, and it was really done very, very well in a way that evoked a lot of musical theater and old Broadway that I really super enjoyed. I don't know what else to say. The movie was definitely worth the watch, and it took me a long time to get around to it. I'm just really happy that I had the chance to see it at last, and I don't know, I still feel like I'm on the fence about Ryan Gosling no matter what he does. I just guess I'll never be satisfied, but there you go. That's where I'm gonna leave it. Go see the movie if you haven't, and if you have, maybe give it a rewatch. Convince me that I'm wrong, that Ryan Gosling isn't mashed potatoes and plain old butter. Anyways, this is Spoilers Ahead signing off. Enjoy the rest of your evening.